Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. So welcome to another episode of the question and answer series that I try and do every month. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm going to see if we go for quite a long time, maybe an hour, because there's quite a lot of questions to get through. But before we get into it, just two announcements. I am starting now to do a monthly giveaway of Riot Points. In the description below there is the link to it, and it's basically just to promote my social medias a little bit more and give you the chance to win some Riot Points, so feel free to enter that. Second point is I'm actually going to be using the webcam today. I do have this fancy contraption now, which is my new camera on a Gorilla Pod with a Mohican that kind of cancels out wind. But this is a bit unpredictable in terms of battery life, that I don't want it to just randomly run out of battery while I'm recording, because I'm still learning the camera, so I don't know how long it can go for. So yeah, using the webcam for today. So the first question I actually want to answer is actually about the camera itself, in terms of am I going to be continuing to use camera in types of videos. So some people ask, when I did the league discussion episode, they were like, would you ever do gameplay on this? Would the Q&A be gameplay? I'll answer that now. So basically I'll say the league discussion videos, if I have gameplay, spare gameplay available, that I don't record every game obviously, but if I have spare gameplay available, I will put that on a league discussion from now on. Maybe not every single one, but again, if I have spare footage available. These question and answer videos though, I'm always going to do on camera pretty much, because it's not just about League. Some people are asking about YouTube or university, so they're a little bit more personal, therefore I think the camera is appropriate. Remember, there's not really any visual stuff on the screen apart from the camera, so if you wanted to click off and have this as an audio, kind of like a podcast, then feel free. I will try and speak as clearly as possible as well, just so you know what the question is. Hopefully that cleared some things up for you. Also, just one more final thing. If you're watching this video upon release, if there's not a video in the next day or two, I'm actually busy, I'm going away, and I haven't had much time to prepare for stuff. Like I actually had to go suit shopping earlier today and everything. So if there's not much content, I apologise. I will be back on Saturday, and I most likely will stream. Maybe I'll do a couple of stream games to upload to YouTube. That would be really easy, so that may be a thing I'll do. Anyway, let's get into it. So, going to be just reading them out from the placement game league discussion I did. I did ask for questions on that video, so I will be looking a lot this way to get the question, and then I'll look back to the camera. Anyway, first question is, well, actually that was in the video. Uni related. When you're programming in C or C#, what compiler do I use? And also boxes, briefs, or free falling. Joke. What compiler do I use? Good question. I don't even remember. I hate programming. It's the thing that I least like doing, and I will always try to avoid it if possible. What do we use? It's probably on this computer. It's something or other. I should know this on the top of my head. I really don't. I don't pay attention. I've got firsts in all my programming modules, but as soon as I'm out of the module, I forget everything. I just do what I'm set and forget about it. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm not going to try and look it up now. Who knows? And then I'll answer your second question because it's relevant. There you go. Forget about that. There's your question. Box of briefs. There you go. It was a joke question, but I answered it because I was prepared. I didn't even prepare that. It was just there because I got them today. Next thing is that was a really weird start to the episode. Do I think it's possible to get master with 25 FPS and 60 ms? Yes. I've known people to be higher rated than that with actually worse connections and worse FPS. So yes, it is possible. What I'd say is be smart about it. Firstly, to say 60 ms is not bad at all. There's people that get to challenger with 200 ms. The only thing with ping and with ms, your connection, is it has to be stable for it to be good. 60 ms is pretty low actually, but if say you're at 100 ms, the worst thing in the world is if you go from 50 to 100 to 150 back to 50, 100, 150. If it bounces around, that's terrible because you can't get used to landing your skill shot or timing your skill shot because it's constantly changing. If it's a stable 60 or a stable 100 or 150, then it's completely fine. You get used to what your connection is. As for your FPS, it's a bit low. It is on the low side, but then the questions are, is that a solid FPS? Is that FPS in team fights? Does it go lower in team fights? What my advice would be is if it gets lower than 25 FPS in team fights, maybe alter your play style, and it's me saying this, to a split pushing champion. I normally hate split pushers, but if you can't do team fights efficiently because of your FPS, pick a split pusher and just split push because your computer can't cope. That's quite smart to me, so I do that. So there you go. Next one is what is my favourite North American LCS team, EU LCS team, LCK team, and favourite team overall? Okay, good question. So North America, I have two teams really that I support. One being Team Dignitas. I'll say even before I was in Team Dignitas as a content creator, as a YouTuber, I liked the organisation. I didn't necessarily support them. I owned all their jerseys. I like them because I like them. I like their ethos. It's not like you have to win. It's like just do your best. That's pretty much Dignitas in a nutshell. In all of the esports that we do, even in YouTube and that, it's just like do your best. If I have a video to do for Dignitas, they're not always down my throat. I like just do it when you can. So that's Dig. That's why I like Dig. That's why I'm happy to be in Dig. There are a couple things that could be better, but it's more or less great. And then the other team is TSM in North America. I've supported TSM since they were created from CLG. A lot of people don't know, but the reason TSM was created, it was to become a rival to CLG, because several of the members of TSM were in CLG at one point. I even think Reginald was in CLG maybe for a month. Then him and Hotshot started to hate each other, so he went and made TSM. Hotshot continued CLG. I've supported them since. You know, I didn't suddenly start to support them because they started doing good in Season 2 and 3. I supported them in Season 1. Favourite EU LCS team? Don't really have one. I don't really care about the EU LCS. I watch it every week. But to me, it doesn't have the personalities that NA does. So I just don't care enough. Like, I'm a North American LCS supporter through and through, not EU. The production quality as well in North America is way better. The casters in America are 10 times better than the EU ones. So I don't know, I'm just not drawn to the EU LCS as much. But if I had to say a team, like there maybe three. Like again, I'm very indecisive because I don't really have a team. But it's between Origin, Fnatic, and Splice. Splice is a new organisation, but the reason I say Splice is that they're the old Dignitas EU guys, so I know them. I've spoken to them quite a lot, so I'd probably say them guys. Favorite LCK team? Probably SKT. Like, it's a generic one, but I just like watching them. They're very impressive, and I follow several of their members to update my builds, update my runes, so I research them all the time. And then favorite team overall? It's going to be a bit weird, but probably TSM just, and then Dignitas. Like, you can't be supporting a team for 5 years. It's like there are some footballers in the Premiership who play for Manchester United but grew up supporting Liverpool. You don't suddenly stop supporting Liverpool. Sure, you still do your best when you're against them, but it doesn't stop you like supporting them. So probably TSM. Next one is, I hope this question doesn't sound weird, but what types of girls do I like? All right. Do I prefer tall blondes or short brunettes? Bit of an odd question, but sure. Short is pretty much a must in my case. I'm only 5'8", so I'm pretty short myself for a dude. Hair colour, it doesn't bother me. As long as they're shorter than me and they're funny or have a nice personality, and gaming is a pretty big thing. You know, playing League with someone it would be cool. That's pretty much it. Like, I'm not that fussed. You know, I'm not the prize catch myself, so I can't be that fussy. So there you go. Hopefully that answers the question. Next one is, I'm bronze 5. Do you think it's possible to get out of bronze? If so, can I do it with AD carry? Yeah, obviously. It's a bit of a weird question because, yes, you can get out of bronze. People do get out of bronze. I always find it a weird question when people in low ratings go, it's impossible. If it was impossible, there would be no diamond players, no master or challenger or platinum players, because you have to remember, all of us, or the vast majority of high-rated players, were once low rating. You don't, like, Faker wasn't a god to begin with. Even Cutie Pie, a lot of you watch Cutie Pie on his stream, he was bronze. He was a bronze and then became LCS professional and now, you know, challenger streamer. Yeah, you can do it with AD carry if you're good with AD carry. That's pretty much it. There's no simple magic trick. There's no like video that you can watch that will just make you a diamond player or a guide you can read. It's pretty much just down to if you're good or not. It's that simple. So yeah, you can. Next one is, what is my opinion on Atrox? Do I think Keystone Masteries benefit him as good as other champions? Also, I know his best roles are top and jungle, but can he be used elsewhere? He is kind of like Urgot when no one plays him but underestimates his damage. I don't think he's underestimated, and I'm speaking of someone that actually mained him in Season 3 for about a month. I played a lot. Or was it Season 4? It was either Season 3 or 4, and I played him in tournaments and stuff like that with absolute zero. He's not underestimated. He's pretty bad right now. Can he be played anywhere else from top of jungle? No, and he's mainly a top laner. I don't rate him as a jungler at all. Keystone Master on him, I'd recommend taking further though, or Thunderlords, probably further though. Go play like Aurelia playstyle. And as for his build and stuff, I don't know. You could experiment with hybrid Atrox, I suppose, the Ginsu Blade and Blade of the Ruined King with Hydra. That could be interesting, but full damage Atrox is a bit weak. The problem with Atrox is I explained it exactly the same as the old Gangplank. The old Gangplank didn't have a role. He was like, either he could go crit plank, he could go tank plank. That's why he wasn't very good. He had too much choice. The problem with Atrox is, again, he has this choice. Does he go tank? Does he go damage? Or does he try to go bruiser? But the problem with Atrox, he's actually not very good in any of those three avenues. If he builds damage, he'll get blown up instantly and killed. If he goes tank, people can ignore him because he does no damage. If he goes bruiser, he doesn't really do damage and he's not very tanky. That's the problem with Atrox. Riot need to rework him to give him an actual role that he can move forward with. Like the new Gangplank is now a damage dealing Gangplank. That's it. You don't build Tank Plank anymore. He's damage. And look how good Gangplank is now. So I think they need to do that with Atrox. Hopefully they will in 2016. Next one is, what do I think about flaming people? What? Like, does this someone really need to ask this question? So maybe you're new to the channel, I don't know, but yeah, flaming people to me is just idiotic. And this is a topic that I'm quite opinionated on because to me it's logical. To me, the people that flame people must in theory be the people that care about winning the most. So if you think about it, if you're flaming at your team, you're actually making your team lose the game even more. So to me, you just must be stupid. And again, this will offend people, but it will only offend you if you do flame people. So if you get offended by this, you're calling yourself a flamer, which then I don't mind offending you. But to me, if you flame others, it's just a lack of intelligence, in my opinion. I'm doing my dissertation in university at the moment, still waiting to get approval from the ethics board about a particular topic. If I fail that topic, which I shouldn't fail it, but I do actually have a backup dissertation which will be actually answering the question, is raging in video games linked to intelligence? That is my backup topic to my dissertation. That would be a very interesting topic to actually get the answers to. I can predict them already, but it'll be interesting to actually flesh it out. So yeah, don't flame people, it's just dumb. Next one is is it me or you lost some weight? Yeah, I've lost a bit. I'm not going crazy in the weight loss because it's very hard to maintain when you're doing work, when I'm up at 2 a.m. talking to Americans about YouTube stuff, sorting out some deals that are going on, then doing university work. It's a bit stressful to actually lose weight at the same time, keep up a very healthy diet, and then do exercise as well. So I'm just doing it slowly. I've lost about 4 pounds in the first month, which is not bad. But I'm basically just going to trundle along, trying to lose a little bit here and there until May. And then once I finish university in May, then I'll get a personal trainer and then go from there. Oh, excuse me. There you go. Wow. Next question is, will I be doing more Hearthstone videos? No, probably not. I did decide that it was only going to be one of the two games. Like League of Legends is the main game, then it would either be CSGO or Hearthstone, and I've chosen CSGO. I've already had people raging at me for picking CSGO, for even doing CSGO content, but remember, it's my YouTube channel, so I can upload kind of what I want to. You know, it's called HuzzyGames, not Huzzy League of Legends. League is still going to be 95% of the channel, but it helps me just to kind of break it up a little bit, not kind of get burnt out with League of Legends. And for me, Counter-Strike Go is a more enjoyable game than Hearthstone. No offense if you play Hearthstone, it's just personal, you know, I just have more fun with it. And that's the content I'm going to be going with. Next question is, how do I feel about picks like Tahm Kench and Nautilus Top? Are they good or bad picks when played? Well, I think it depends the player. Like, they're viable. They're definitely viable. I have seen them in this past few days, really. I've seen Tahm Kench's do well. It's a good pick into Aurelia. I know that for certain, because an Aurelia one-trick pony is said, oh, I can't get fed. It's a Tahm Kench top. And then I've seen a Nautilus completely wreck a Jax. So yeah, they're both good picks. But again, I think because they're so slow and reliant on others, don't expect to carry on them. So if you want to go up in rating yourself, I wouldn't recommend picking these champions because they're not carry champions. If you get fed on them, you're not going to win the game by yourself. But they're good. So if you're doing dynamic queue with friends and you need a tank top laner, yeah, they're completely fine. Next question is, if you joined LCS, what role would I pick? This is a hypothetical, obviously, question because I'm never going to join LCS. The only way I would be a coach. Never as a player. I'm not good enough, and I probably never would want to be one anyway, which I think I've done a separate video about, so you can look that up if you want to. If what role though, in hypothetical, mid or top lane, I just enjoy them roles the best. And I'm probably, best at them roles. And I'd play like a control style. I wouldn't be like a Faker or Bjergsen that would go for solo kills. I'd play more as a control style that holds the team together and just pushes the game forward into mid-game. That would be more my play style, so there you go. Next one is, do you play on Korea LoL server? If so, how does it feel in the different servers you played in? I've never have, no. I've played on EU West, obviously the majority, and I've played on North America. I've got to Diamond 1 on EU West and Diamond 2 on North America. And I've obviously played this game for a very long time, read a lot of forum posts, and Korean players themselves have said the difference is there isn't a difference. So Korean players that play on multiple servers have said that there's hardly any other difference. If you're Diamond on EU West, you'd be Diamond in Korea, you'd be Diamond in North America. It's very much blown out in proportion in terms of what rating you'd be on different servers. The big differences that Koreans have said, though, is the attitude. The attitude is the main difference. So Koreans are much more, I'd say, emotional in terms of raging and giving up. So they're very happy if they get ahead, but if they start losing, if like two lanes start losing in the first 10 minutes, they'll open mid in Diamond. Like in Diamond level plus, they'll just open mid, go, it's pointless, move on to the next game. That happens all the time, which doesn't really happen in EU or North America that often. So it's mainly attitude, but the player level is completely similar. Maybe the challenger scene in Korea is a little bit more serious than EU and NA. But I've even heard stories of the bronze players in Korea are worse than any other bronze players ever because they just don't understand. So yeah, I think it's blown out of proportion. Korea, it's solo queue. There's a limited of how good solo queue can be. Obviously, the professional scene is a different story, but it's just solo queue. Next one is, what playstyle would be good? What playstyle would be a good playstyle to adapt in Season 6? Hard to say, I can't predict the future. I'm not a sire or anything, but the meta changes about 4 to 5 times per season on average. But right now, it's like a control meta. It's to get your team to mid-game and then have a strong late game with the potential to snowball. So that's why I picked up Gangplank. If your opponent is bad, you can snowball in laner's Gangplank, but if you don't, you just get fed and wreck in team fights. That's why like Renekton is good and bad. Renekton does rely on getting a little bit ahead in the early game, but if he doesn't, then he can still do okay in team fights, but I'd say just Gangplank is better. That's why I picked up my Karthus again. I can get fed in lane. It has happened, but I'm just waiting for team fights in mid to late game. So I'd say control meta at the moment. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Next one is, what season did you start improving the most? And what was the idea or philosophy that drove you to Diamond? Season 3 was when I improved the most. I went from Silver in Season 2 to Diamond 1 in Season 3. What was the idea or philosophy that got me there? Take the game seriously. It was pretty much that day. In Season 1 and 2, League of Legends was not my main game. World of Warcraft was. And as soon as I stopped playing World of Warcraft in pre-season 3, I took the game a bit more seriously. I got Platinum in pre-season, and then I got to Diamond 1 in Season 3. So, yeah, it was just literally, there was no magic to it. It was like, okay, I'm not playing WoW as my main game anymore, which I used to be quite good at. Now League of Legends is my main game. I'm going to take that seriously and got Diamond 1. That's what happened. Next one is... you was Gold 4 last season and went 5-5 for promo and ended up Gold 5. WTF. That's actually very good. Why are you complaining? See, this is a person that just doesn't understand the new system at all. you generally go down a few tiers. So if you've only gone down one tier, call yourself lucky, my friend. I'm sure many people watching this video are going to go, I wish I only went down one tier. So yeah, call yourself lucky. That is nothing to rage at, my god. Next one is, do I think LeBlanc is good to go up in rating right now? Yeah, as long as you're good with her. The thing with the LeBlanc is she's kind of like a bard. That you can, the difference between a good LeBlanc and a bad LeBlanc is miles apart. A good LeBlanc can basically never lose lane and will wreck. A bad LeBlanc doesn't know how the combos work, can't last hit, and is just terrible. So if you do think you're a good LeBlanc, yeah, go with it. She's a great champion for solo queue, especially. If you're not a great LeBlanc, I think you should be honest with yourself and go, okay, maybe this champion isn't for me. She's one of them types of champions like Bard, like Zed, like Yasuo, that you kind of have to look at yourself and go, am I actually good with this champion? So there you go. Next one is, what do I think of Season 6 so far, and how do I think the meta will develop as the season continues? That's two of the second part of that question I can't answer. It's pretty much subject to what Riot decide in terms of what are they going to buff, what are they going to nerf, the new champions that come out. So it's irrelevant to what I think. It could be true, but there's no point even trying to predict it. What do I think of Season 6 so far? It's very early to kind of say anything, but it's fine. You know, sure, like I've gone from Platinum 5 placements to already Platinum 1. This weekend, when I do streaming and stuff, I'll be looking to get Diamond before I go back to uni. It's fine, you know, I don't see any problems. I did play probably the worst game of League of Legends ever in my life. Not in terms of performance, I played quite well myself. But I played with a 4-man pre-made the other day, and that was the most depressing thing I've ever done. They weren't rages, they weren't anything like that. There was zero communication. They thought pings would be enough for me to know exactly what was going on. It was awful. It was completely awful. They were doing stuff. They were dying when I was like, if you kind of fill me in what you want to do, maybe I can help. It was awful. I never want to do that again, which is why I still to this day don't like dynamic queue. But with dynamic queue, they should have solo, 2s, 3s, and 5s. 4Q should not be a thing because isolating one player is never a good thing. So it's okay, but there should be improvements. Next one is, what were my ranks during every season so far? Season 1, I played 6 ranked games and lost all 6, with my average last hitting being 25 in each game when I wasn't even a jungler. That's how bad I was. Season 2, I was 10 ELO off gold. It was a different rank system back then. Many of you probably didn't play back then. But yeah, I was basically 1 win off gold, but I never played it because World of Warcraft was my main game, so I didn't care about it, which I regretted a few weeks later when then League of Legends became my new game, or my main game. Season 3, Diamond 1. Season 4, Diamond 2. Season 5, Diamond 2. And now hopefully we'll be going back to Diamond 1, maybe even Master, because I can take the game seriously again like I did in Season 3. Because for the majority of the season, I break up University in May. I'm doing this full time. I can focus on my rating. I can focus on solo queue and not have to think about university, which is going to be great. But obviously that will be in May. That is still a little far away. Next one is, does the placements count to your pre-season MMR or only your season MMR? It's your pre-season MMR. The January the 19th, when ranks went down, your MMR is locked in, and that is what they go off. Okay, sorry about that, my phone rang. So the next question is, do I believe in low rating people not being able to climb because of their bad teammates? No, God, that's a terrible excuse. But let's change your question. Do I believe in low rating people not being able to be able to climb because they're bad? Yes, that's the question you should be asking. Nothing to do with teammates. If you're somebody that always blames teammates, you're the problem. It's not your teammates, it's you're the problem. If you can't carry to climb, then you're in the rating you deserve. That's the whole point of this solo queue system, is if you're in the rating and you can't climb anymore, you're stuck. That is the rating you deserve. That's it. Sometimes it's hard to accept that, but improve. Go in normal games if you want to improve, and maybe you'll go up. But the whole idea about blaming teammates, to me, is just idiotic. But yeah, anyway. Next question is, what do I think about Olaf in bronze or silver? As long as you're good with Olaf, he's great. So it's pretty much the same answer for every single question like that, because it's subject to the player. Like, Urgot is a trash champion, but in the hands of a challenger player, he's probably really good. So yeah, my answer to that type of question is always going to be like that. Next one is, what's my favourite food? God, that's a hard question. I like Mexican food a lot. I like ribs. I like steak. Ah, God, barbecue. It's a lot of meat, honestly, involved in it. Yeah, I don't know. That type of stuff. Chinese, Indian. Oh, God, don't get me started about food. That's how I got like this. Next one is, can I do mastery guide for some champions, please? I have announced that I'm going to be doing a Karthus guide in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, maybe we'll see. Like the guides are harder to do because they take more time. But yeah. Next one is what do I think about Blue Ezreal? He's completely fine. If you're good with it, again. Blue Ezreal focuses on getting to mid late game with his damage or poke. You do not really win lane as Blue Ezreal because it takes so long to get strong on him. So yeah, I'd probably say he's good, but just know how to play it is the first kind of thing. Next question is what is my opinion on LCS spots getting sold for $1 million? For example, Team Dignitas EU. It's reasonable. It's only going to go up. It's if you're like a big investor right now, like Rick Fox, who's the NBA guy. It's a great time to get in esports because it's relatively cheap. You know, people will go, God, $1 million for a slot in LCS, that's really expensive. It's not. You know, if you look at Formula One, if you look at NFL, Premiership football, the money's ridiculous there. So $1 million for a professional slot that probably is going to get televised in the next couple of years, it's a very good investment right now. So yeah, it's actually like, you know, it's a very good money venture for Dignitas or TSM or Cloud9. Like a lot of people go, why do these teams still have challenger teams? You know, you're only allowed one team in the LCS, either in EU or NA. It's because it's a money making thing. You put money as an investment into a challenger team. If they get good, if they get promoted to LCS, you sell the slot for a few million. Like that's how it works. It's really clever. I think there'll be a rule against it, most likely in the next couple of years. But right now, it's a really clever thing to do if you're an organization. So there you go. Next one is, what support are you scared or not wanting to go against in lane? You're a support main and you're curious. Not really any. One, I'm not a support main, but two, when I'm a support, I don't really care who I'm against. Probably because I don't main the role. Because I play like Bard or Alistair, that it doesn't matter who you're against, you can play those type of champions against anything. But if you're very much a niche support player that plays like Zyra or Sona, then maybe you're scared about a few things, but that's because you're picking a relatively weak champion right now. But if you're playing one of the strong meta supports, you shouldn't be scared about any, really, because they all can play against each other if you're just good with them. Next one is... I feel like you've answered this before, but you're going to ask it again just in case. What is my favourite season/meta to play in? Season 3, not just because I was the highest rating in that season. It was the most fun. It was the Assassin meta. Like, oh, that's the best. Assassin meta is what I play League of Legends for. I'm waiting for the return of the Assassin meta. It's on its way back. Like, I'm playing Zed again, having a great amount of fun. Playing Karthus again, which is a counter to the Assassin meta. Like... it's great. Like, it is coming back, so I'm really happy. But yeah, Season 3 and Assassin meta. Next one is... hey, Huzzy, do you ever plan to go pro and play in the championships? No. I think it's a bad thing to do more than a good thing. I think it's just a lot of young kids who are like young teenagers go, I'm going to be a pro League of Legends player, but they actually don't think about it properly. To me, it's more of a bad thing than a good thing. Maybe, like, you have to think about it. All these pros that, like, skip education and stuff, like, sure, you have examples like Dyrus or Cutie Pie that kind of make a business, make a streaming business and brand a business out of being a LoL professional. But they're rare. You know, not every single player that has retired is now a content creator, that is now a streamer making a lot of money. Majority of them go to normal jobs and then don't have an education. So I don't think it's worth it. I never will do it myself. You know, one, I don't think I'm good enough, but two, I don't want to do it. Next one is, I have heard that you get a free skin when you reach gold, and if you get a champion level mastery 5. No. One of them is true. You do not get a skin for reaching champion mastery 5. That is a gimmick system. That is just a number just for the sake of a number, just to see how many games you've played on a champion. It doesn't really have any value. You do get a skin for getting gold, but not straight away. You get it at the end of the season. It's the not championship. It's the victorious skin. So if you ever see someone with a victorious skin, so it's victorious Jarvan, victorious Janna, victorious Elise, victorious Morgana, and victorious something else, Severe, I think. Is that right? That might be right. If you see someone with that skin, it means that they've got gold at least in one of the seasons in ranked, and you get that at the end of the season that you got gold in. So yeah, that part is true. The mastery thing isn't true. Next thing is loading. Do you think I could reach masters if you grind it out? Maybe make videos to show your progress there. Well, that's kind of what Road to Diamond 1 is. You know, if I get to master, if I get to Diamond 1, we'll just extend the series to master. Do I think I can get it though? Like realistically, probably. I know when I was doing Unranked to Diamond, there were some very doubtful people like, oh, this guy's not bad. But the problem with what I was doing in Unranked to Diamond is I was completely ignoring my main account. So I was the level of play I was playing in, I was getting used to it too much. So I was not playing my best, nowhere near my best, because it's very much, I've used the analogy before. You could be the best NFL player in the world. Your wide receiver is the worst wide receiver in the world. You throw the ball to him, he doesn't catch it. It makes you look bad as the best quarterback in the world. You're limited, and you play down to who you're playing with. Which is why now in this new season, even though my placements went quite badly, I was tilted, I got off tilt, and now I'm playing pretty much really good in every single game. So do I think I can get Masters? Yes. Not before May though, most likely, because yes, I'm very busy with university. But once I finish my university in May, I'm all League of Legends until December. So yeah, most likely we'll be going for Masters then. Next one is, and how long have we been going for? About roughly half an hour. Probably going to do about 10 more minutes because my throat is actually starting to get really dry. Next one though, how do I balance League of Legends, school and life? It's a hard one. Because it's not just that with me, it's YouTube, League of Legends, university and life. So I have 4 things to balance. But I'll use another analogy. It's not perfect for this, but you can kind of put it in. I've used it before. But if you're in university, you can balance 3 things. You have work, partying, or sleep. You only can do 2 of these things. You can party and work, or you can party and sleep and not do any work, or you can work and party, you can work and sleep. You can't do all 3. So I'd say with League of Legends, school and life, it's pretty similar. You can't do all 3 amazingly well. So if you want to do, I'd say always focus school. Make sure that's always in there. But you can go school and life, school and League of Legends. And for the majority of people watching this, I will say school and life. Majority will not be making a career out of League of Legends, no matter how hopeful you are. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but that is just the reality of it. So focus on school, focus on your life, and you'll probably have a better time. Play League of Legends for fun. Play it like a video game. It doesn't need to be that serious. So there you go. Next one is, do you think that Season 6 will be more of a bruiser meta more than assassin? It's hard to say again, I'm not a predictor, but I hope myself it's a more assassin meta. I just prefer it myself. Right now, currently, it's a bruiser and an assassin meta, so yeah, there you go. Next one is, do we even have it? Okay, we do. There's a few here. First one, what do I think about websites which promise improvement for money, pro guides, etc.? I don't do them ever. Honestly, like, don't. And I'm risking, like, you know, I could probably get a sponsorship deal with one of these guys. Don't. They're pointless. The amount of free stuff you can get on the internet, YouTubers, streamers, is enough to get good at League of Legends. Watching the professional scene is free. You don't need to go on one of these websites. The only thing I'd say, if you want to pay for something, have a coach. Go have a private lesson with somebody that can literally point out what you need to work on. That is far better than signing up to one of these websites. Like, I do not rate them at all. I know, like, some of my friends have worked with them, like Foxtrot and stuff. I don't rate them personally. I think they're just a waste of time when you can get all the stuff for free that you need. Like, I got Diamond 1 by watching a couple of streamers here and there. I didn't pay for anything. So, you know, there you go. Next one is, what do I think about the new drafting system? Not dynamic queue, just the new draft system in ranked and normal mode. I like it and dislike it. I don't like the fact that it's only 2 roles. I don't know why Riot just don't let us queue for as many as we want. Definitely not just one though. Like I think yeah, people have asked for that. Please, Riot, do not let people just queue up as one role. That would be awful because I think this whole new system is limiting the skill level of the game. It is aiming for the more casual player that only plays one or two roles. But to me, I don't see, like, people are complaining a lot about queue times or not getting their role, or they pick Phil and they don't want to play support, they want to play all the other four roles. So why don't Riot let us queue up for as many as we want? Minimum 2 up to 5. So if you want to play everything, go ahead, you can just pick anything. That could be the Phil option, you just pick everything. But if you want to pick, say, like me, I can play everything apart from support. So I'll pick mid, top, jungle, and AD carry. I'll have them 4. I won't pick support, and I'm going to be one of them 4. It'll improve queue times of Phil mains like me, and I won't have to play support if I do pick Phil. That would be a good system to have. I don't know why they haven't done that. But in general, I dislike it because, again, it does limit the level of skill in the game. Next one is, considering that you personally experienced tilting on a whole new level, true, do I think anything different of people who do terrible in lanes? I often see you blame and call people bad on stream, never in game. Yeah, like the whole thing about me calling people bad in stream or anything like that, it's a reaction. Like, I don't actually mean it most of the time. It's like it's like people, when I always find it funny when you're watching a football game or a golf match or rugby and someone in a pub goes, oh god, that guy's terrible. He's a professional player, like he's pretty good. It's like, every diamond player in League of Legends is pretty good. They might be having an off game. So if I'm calling someone bad, it's kind of like, oh, that guy's doing bad, or he might be bad. It's just frustration. It's just calling it out for the sake of calling it out. I don't actually mean it most of the time. Occasionally I do, but most of them I don't. But yeah, I experienced tilting on a whole different level. People will probably never experience, because I'm tilting in front of thousands of people. Comment sections, up votes, down votes, judging you. That's a whole different level of tilting when you have thousands of eyes on you. So luckily, most of you don't have that, because trust me, it's not a nice experience. But what do I think about people that do terrible in lane? Frustration, obviously. If they're in my team, it's frustrating because I want to win the game. But the second I'm out of the game, I stop caring about them. It's pretty much that simple. Like, I don't care about that guy. I know I'm good enough to climb, so as soon as I'm out of the game, I'm just moving on to the next game to win. Like, it's that simple, and I think that's an attitude most people should pick up. Anyway, next one is, what do I think about ragers / blamers / flamers in normal and ranked modes? And most important question, what do I think about flamers and haters in the LCS? Good question. People like Shook have experienced a time that they have been more toxic than Fujihima Harbor. God, that's a bad reference. They've got banned from Pro League for a year and returned. Do I think that kind of punishment is justified, or do I think the punishment should be harder? It depends. In general, again, I answered earlier, I think people who are toxic, etc., actively in game, typing to people, trolling, they just lack intelligence, so you can't, just give them a pat on the back and just move them into a home or something. But people like professionals like Shook, etc., I understand where he's coming from in a weird way. Once again, people can't understand what it's like to have thousands of eyes on you. You can buckle, you can rage. Like I've said in the past, I never understand why bronze people rage. They should be having fun. They're not very good at the game. People that should be raging are the best players in the game, because it means that much to them. They have careers on the line here. So I understand when someone like Shook rages. It's still not justified, but I understand it. And I think it's great if they do come back and they're a reformed player. But there are some examples out there that I think players should always be permanently banned. The biggest example, and say what you will, and I like Cloud9 as an organisation, but I think Cloud9 Jensen, the mid laner, should be permanently banned, still to this day. If you do not know the history with him, he was one of the most toxic players in the US, but then he was also a known DDoSer. He used to DDoS people. As soon as it gets to that level, you should be permanently banned in my book, and no... They should, like, his excuse was, I was young. That's not an excuse. I don't care. Like, no. It's an example that people, if you want to go pro, you don't cheat to get there. So that's my opinion on it. It's a fairly harsh one, but again, I am an opinionated person. Next one is, hey, Huzzy, question for you. This is actually going to be the last question for today. I just started playing League recently. I'm really close to level 30, so soon I can finally play ranked. You play normals with some in real life friends who are plat, and in normals, do you think? Oh god, this who are plat in normals? Do you go up against the same ranked, or is it random people? I asked this because I was able to handle my own and do very well. Also, any tips when you find wait ages. Don't rush into ranked. There's no point. Majority of people that rush into ranked tend to get quite bad ratings straight away and then get discouraged from playing ranked. There's no rush. Don't rush. And then, yeah, never look at it as normal games. It's something that people do all the time. Never take normal games as an indicator of what level you are in the game. It's a terrible idea to do so because normal games are casual. Nobody's trying in normal games. Just they're having fun. So there are so many people that I've coached personally that are like, I'm in silver right now, but I beat platinum people in normals. It's meaningless. It's completely meaningless. And like the moment they say that, I'm like, okay, forget about it. Like it doesn't matter. So I'd say wait a while until you're more confident. If your friends are platinum, obviously they're not bad at the game. Just let them coach you a little bit more and maybe give it a few months. Have a good few champions in each role you want to main for ranked and have runes and masteries obviously already set. So that's going to do it for this month's question and answer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. There are more questions that I could have answered, but I want to say if I didn't answer your question, either tweet it at me or go on my ask.fm and I'll answer it there. But there you go. Thank you very much everybody for watching. Remember to enter the Riot Point giveaway for January. The link is in the description. So again, like the video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.